So I'd like to welcome you all to the Leo Africa Forum. The Leo Africa Economic Forum is what we are gathered here for today. In today's session, we'll be discussing the extractive industry with a focus on key sectors, oil and gas, mining, and infrastructure investment, and finding the balance between opportunities in the extractive industry and the various other sectors of our economy. In order to have this conversation, we've identified and brought together a panel of experts in the extractive industry, but also in the other industries, the other sectors of the economy, which would balance the extractive industry.
Is oil and gas the cure for poverty? Maybe. There's been some excitement because a lot of stuff has been found. You're going to be making $4.8 billion extra dollars a year. That's a huge number. It's your budget plus. Okay, or 13 billion. It's the GDP of Uganda plus of 2011. Secondly, the demand for fossil fuels globally is insatiable. We'll never stop needing this stuff. So forget about economy and this kind of thing. Can our very planet take the stuff that we want to throw up into the atmosphere? 63% of the stuff that we already know we have, we can't use. That is unburnable carbon. You cannot burn all of that stuff if we want to spare the planet from overheating.
Now, all that aside, let's speak as East Africans, which is what we are. If we say, right, let us leave this oil and gas, call it money or hydrocarbon, in the ground, how then are we going to fund the economic growth we so desperately need? How are we going to do it?
I mean, what's the other way we can finance infrastructure in an economy like ours if we don't borrow? And borrow probably by using our natural resources as collateral. I don't want to say mortgaging our country, but
But you've said
but because I think traditionally there are two ways you would finance. Either it's your own equity or you borrow. And I think oil gives us an opportunity to borrow. So what's the other alternative? Thank you very much.
This is an investment for our country. This is an opportunity for us to grow. And so, in as much as there's so many sentimental things attached to oil, in as much as there's so many assumptions, I would really personally think it would be beneficial for us to look at things like the return on investment, compare your oil and the discounted mean terms and so forth. I think it will put better clarity to how we could go forward.
How can this resource be sustainably mined without putting a lot of negative impacts on the environment?
the fact of the matter is the oil and gas companies are proactive about this issue. That is a fact. One of the projects that I was privileged to be a part of when I was in Shell was a very strategic project called carbon sequestration. I'm sure you've heard of that before, where the carbon dioxide is captured and then re-injected into abandoned oil and gas fields where it can be stored for many years, 40, 50, 60 years, depending on the technology. And how do we manage it in such a way that it does not jeopardize other more sustainable fundamental industries like tourism? How do we do that?
We're not necessarily against oil, but oil should not be a priority over what we're already earning money from.
So don't leave your job. If you're in agriculture, stay in agriculture. The reason I say that is not to discourage people from entering the oil and gas industry, but when the industry kicks off, they're going to require food, financing, cleaning, security, transportation, planning, technical planning. There's so many. I could go on forever and a day about these things. So you better be ready.
And this is where government and other agencies have to step in and limit this sector accordingly and set the guidelines and manage the income and be transparent and be accountable. Those things still count.
I think what Aiden has been trying to say is whatever comes out of those industries is not the silver bullet, is not the thing that we should all just wait and then once it happens everything is good. That in countries that find a lot of resources, for example oil, somehow the economy or the society it changes everything that they were doing before the finding of that resource, and all those other activities are diminished to the point that the whole economy, the whole country is relying only on this resource.
Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Zambia, Malawi, northern Mozambique, and parts of Kenya. We have 4 deep water ports, 3 railway lines, wonderful road network. We've got fiber optic cables have landed in Mombasa and Dar es Salaam. We've got all this infrastructure. We've got a market that is growing. It is young. It requires all sorts of services and opportunities. Do you know what we invest in? Infrastructure.
I am passionate about the sustainable development of Uganda. And as Dr. Saruma mentioned, this development has a cost. And how are we going to finance this cost? Oil and gas provides an opportunity for us to come up with the cash required to finance what we believe to be the future of Uganda, which is tourism, agriculture, human resource. So therefore, we should see oil and gas as an opportunity that is not here forever. It comes with a window, and we as Ugandans need to then discuss how can we manage this opportunity. This opportunity comes with risks, they are manageable. This opportunity is expensive, requires money, but this opportunity is profitable. It will result in cash flow for Uganda, and this cash flow can then be used as a catalyst for all the other industries.